Hello, I'm teacher Ivan from Wunna Educational Services. I welcome you to our second lesson. We are still looking at how we solve simultaneous equations. We have so far looked at solving by elimination, and now we are coming to our second method, which is solving by substitution. So, in substitution method, we make x or y the subject of one of the equations and then substitute in the other equation, hence having only one unknown which can be solved. Let's have examples and see how it works. The question says, solve these simultaneous equations by substitution method. And our first example is 3x minus 5y equals to 21, and 4x plus y equals to 5. So let's see how we solve these two equations using substitution method. So the equation is 3x minus 5y equaling to 21, and then 4x plus y equals to 5. So we've seen that in substitution method, we make one of the unknowns the subject in one of the equations and substitute in the other. This is how it works. Let's first start with naming our equations. That is equation 1, this is equation 2, and therefore we are to make either x or y the subject and substitute in the other equation. I will choose equation 2. So I will say from equation 2, which says that 4x plus y equals to 5, I will still choose to make y the subject. So means that I'll take 4x the other side, hence leaving me with y equals to 5 minus 4x. And now that I've made y the subject, I can now substitute in the first equation. Please note this, we don't substitute in the same equation we have used to make y the subject. That would be wrong. We have used the equation 1 to make y the subject, and therefore we are substituting in the other equation. So we can even name this equation 3. Such that now we shall say from equation 1, which says 3x minus 5y equals to 21, I will now substitute for y, which is, now it becomes 3x minus 5, open brackets, 5 minus 4x, equaling to 21. So you realize that after substituting for y, I now have only one unknown, which is x. So I simplify by opening brackets, which becomes 3x minus 25, minus and a minus becomes a positive, 5 and 4 becomes 20x, which equals to 21. Then I simplify like a terms, that is 3x plus 20x, and I take this the other side, give me 21 plus 25. So this gives me 23x equaling to, when I add, I'll get 46. And therefore I'll find x simply by dividing through by 23, 23, hence giving me x as 2. So That is by substitution. You notify, or we shall realize that in substitution we are aiming at remaining with one unknown, which we can simply find. And after that, we shall say from our equation 3, since we have got x, now we are remaining with getting y. So we shall say from equation 3, this is our equation 3, it says y equals 5 minus 4x. So, which is y equals to 5 minus 4x. We now substitute for x, which is 2, to get y. So that is y equals to 5 minus 4 into 2. Hence giving us y as 5 minus 8, thereby giving us y as negative 3. So that is solving simultaneous equations by substitution. However, there is something I want to comment on. If you realize that in my choice of what to make the subject, I have chosen y, simply because I didn't choose x, reason being x had a sounding coefficient. Yes, y has a coefficient, but it's a silent one. So I could easily make y the subject by simply shifting 4x to the other side. But if I'm to make x the subject, then that means that I'll get a fraction. This is what I mean. From the same equation, which is 4x plus y equals to 5, if I'm to make x the subject, then it will be 4x equaling to 5 minus y, and then I divide by 4, which could give me x as in 5 minus y over 4. And now, if I'm to replace or substitute in the first equation, where there is x is where I will write 5 minus y over 4, which is a bit difficult for some of us to deal with the fractions, and therefore that's why I used and made y the subject. However, if at all you can correctly substitute for x in 3x plus 5y equals to 21, if you can correctly substitute and simplify accordingly, we can get the same results. And I'll leave you to try out that. In this case, substitute for x and see if we can get x as 2 and y as negative 3, just like we've done. On top of that, I would also want to leave you with some trial numbers on substitution. So we've done number 1 together. You're doing the remaining 3. That's number 2, number 3, and number 4. And please, I would much want you to comment with your solutions so that we share and learn together. Otherwise, that has been substitution method. So we are left with the matrix method, and please hit the bell such that you get notified once it is uploaded. Otherwise, have a good day. See you in the next lesson.